and I have the wonderful privilege of serving as chair of the board for 10 at the Top. And I want to thank you for joining us here today for our 10 at the Top, our Upstate Vision Forum, where we have the opportunity to discuss an issue that is crucial to the current and future growth and quality of life for all of us in upstate South Carolina. I am pleased to welcome you to today's forum. The purpose of these regular regional forums is to discuss issues that impact our ability to ensure that the upstate is universally recognized as a leading place to live, learn, do business, and raise a family. The mission of 10 at the Top is to foster collaboration, trust, and partnerships across the upstate region, and gatherings like today are an important component of achieving that mission. I want to start off by recognizing and thanking the 10 at the Top board members who are in attendance today. We have a very strong and engaged board of directors who are regional leaders, and I appreciate their energy and commitment to regional collaboration. So if you are a 10 at the Top current or past board member, would you please stand and be recognized? The back of your program includes a list of current 10 at the Top funding partners, and I want to thank each of these businesses and organizations for providing the support that helps 10 at the Top serve as a regional connector and convener around key issues that are impacting today and into our future. I also want to thank our sponsors for helping to make today's forum possible. Our presenting sponsor is Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina. Jim Shue could not be with us today, but there is a Blue Cross Blue Shield table over here. Please check that out. And we do certainly appreciate all that Blue Cross Blue Shield has done for 10 at the Top. Our forum premier sponsor is TD Bank, and you will be hearing from John Verrault shortly. Our visionary sponsor is Greenville Health System. Our forum series supporting sponsors are Community Works Carolina, Greenville-Spartanburg International Airport, Brown Mackie College, and the Rutland Institute for Ethics at Clemson University. Thank you all for recognizing the importance of these regional forums and for helping to make them possible. I also want to thank Chancellor Tom Moore and USC Upstate for their hospitality in serving as our host for today's forum. He's tried to convince me that he spent his lunch hour setting up these chairs. We know better. But we thank him anyway for having us today, and I'm going to call on him for a brief welcome.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you for being here. 10 counties, one upstate, stronger together. One upstate is the key word there. We are USC Upstate, and we're thrilled to be a part of 10 at the Top. Since its founding, my predecessor, John Stockwell, was an original board member and had a lot to do with the organization of this event. And I've remained active on the board and really appreciate the work of this organization and USC Upstate role in it. It's a big thrill for us to have you on our campus to see what we do in educating over 6,000 students for economic development, quality of life, making this a better place for all to live and work and raise a family. So thank you for being here today. I look forward to this program. Go Upstate.
Thank you, Tom. Another key partner for 10 at the Top since its infancy has been TD Bank. We are pleased that John Verrault serves on the 10 at the Top board of directors and also appreciate TD Bank serving as a forum premier sponsor for today's event. I am pleased to welcome to the podium John Verrault for a few words.
Thank you, Carol. It is indeed my pleasure for me and on behalf of TD Bank to join 10 at the Top and USC Upstate in hosting this event today. Personally, I feel proud and fortunate to live and work in Spartanburg, but living and working in Spartanburg is only a microcosm of a much greater living environment that we fondly know as the Upstate. And it's for this reason that I feel grateful for organizations like 10 at the Top that foster collaboration and coordination, cooperation, communication. There's a lot of words, a lot of big words to start with C, but foster this communication across lines of geography and economics and cultures. In honor of today's guest, I do want to mention that TD Bank is committed to our communities that we serve. One example of this commitment is our approach to the environment. In 2010, we became the first bank in North America to be carbon neutral. We've constructed over 150 buildings certified LEED Platinum or Gold. Every year we give away 10 grants of $20,000 to communities to plant trees in urban settings. And to date, we've planted over 185,000 trees. And we've also developed green ATMs that are 100% powered by renewable energy and conduct paperless transactions. Now, I'm not sure how you get cash out of the paperless transactions, but a little skeptical, but I'll see it soon. So anyhow, thank you, and I'm thankful that you're here today, and grateful to be a part of this event.
It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium our Executive Director, Dean Hybl.
Thank you all so much for being here with us. First thing I want to ask is, how many of you rode here on a bus? A bunch of hands. Now, who's surprised by that? Everybody else, right? We had, and I want to thank GreenLink and folks, when we had our forum, the first of the Shaping Our Future series back in April, we talked a lot about transit and transportation, and we said, we're having this forum in September in Spartanburg, and someone said, well, you should get people to take a bus from Greenville to Spartanburg for the forum. And we said, well, that's a great idea. And sure enough, we were able, Mark, thank you very much. GreenLink said, that's a great idea. And we had a group come up today on the bus, and I've heard a couple people who were part of that say how relaxing and fun that was. So we really appreciate, again, having the bus. And for those of you who rode the bus, and hopefully someday in the Upstate, that will be something that is very common as we move forward and think about our future and how we're growing as a region. So again, thank you for that. And I want to start very quickly. I know some of you could get up here and do this presentation. You've heard me talk many times about 10 at the Top, but some of you are new to the organization. So I want to just spend just a quick minute talking a little bit about who we are and what our philosophy is as it relates to current and future growth here in the Upstate. And 10 at the Top was created as an organization to encourage collaboration, coordination, and cooperation, those C's that we heard earlier, on how to work collaboratively to make the region stronger together. And we do that through a lot of efforts like this and other meetings and engagements where we try to encourage collaboration around economic vitality and quality of life here today and in the future for Upstate South Carolina. And if you think of it specifically, we serve as a regional connector. And we do that primarily around 5 what we call driver areas: community vibrancy, economic and entrepreneurial vitality, human potential, natural beauty and resources, and sustainable growth. And those came out of a regional vision process that many of you were involved in about almost 5 years ago, where we asked people what mattered most to them. And the way we do our connecting is through a variety of things: bring people together to share ideas, to identify gaps, to increase efficiencies, and create regional networks and cross-jurisdictional solutions to how to make sure that we are collaborating and that we are 10 counties and stronger together. This series is something that we've been doing for a long time, and it is part of our overall effort to bring together people through community outreach and engagement. This is actually, I think Ashley could say, number 497 of our regional engagement since 2010. So we're almost at 500 opportunities like this, whether it be small meetings or large, that we have hosted since 2010. And you'll hear from Ed McMahon in a few minutes. He actually spoke at the reality check in 2009 that led to the formation of this organization. So Ed, since you were last here, we have been very busy and engaged here in the Upstate region, engaging more than 25,000 participants in those sessions. And as I said, we started these forums in 2012. This is the third of the 4 forums we do over the course of the year. Please mark your calendar for November 19th for the next one, which every year, we talk about all the issues and challenges, but we also recognize there are great things happening in the Upstate. So we try to celebrate successes. We have The Elevate Upstate grants will be announced that day. We have 26 applications for 2 grants this year, so it is really an exciting thing. We'll announce the recipients that day. We celebrate milestone anniversaries of companies, so if your company is 20 years or older and having a milestone 0 or 5 anniversary this year, let us know. Our list right now is about 130 companies and organizations, so lots of great things happening here in the Upstate. But another very cool thing is you are today not at one event, you're actually at 3 events in one. Imagine that. So we have our regional forum. This is also part of the Shaping Our Future series. It's a partnership between 10 at the Top, Upstate Forever, Upstate Alliance, the Raleigh Institute, and the Greater Greenville Area Realtors. This is the 3rd, as I said, of 4 events in that series. The next one coming up on October 20th will also be here at USC Upstate, but in a different location. And then the 3rd set of events that we combine, we're about collaboration, this is part of the Mary Black Foundation and Upstate Forever's Active Living Event Series. And Sherry Barrett will talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. So congratulations, you haven't come to one event, you can check 3 events off your list today. But our focus today is on community vibrancy, economic vibrancy, and how to work together. And when we had our regional summit last year, and we have our next one coming up almost a year from now, the 13th of September in 2016, so mark that on your calendar. But when we had the one in 2014, we asked people, what are the issues that we need to be working on, the overarching regional issue to work on collaboratively. And the #1 issue with about 21% was in creating economic and community vibrancy, both in our rural and our downtown communities. So this is an issue that is very important to all of us here in the Upstate. And it's also an issue that a lot of people are very engaged in. You'll hear about one of our towns here in a few minutes, but I've had the pleasure just in the last couple of weeks to be in many different communities and spend a lot of time going to a lot of our downtowns. We have a lot of communities that are doing a great job of revitalizing or just vitalizing their communities and doing great things. And I know many of you represent small towns and downtowns here today and want to kind of glean some new ideas from others. And I think this is going to be, as you'll see from our presenters, a great opportunity to do that. But that is happening in our communities. We also have groups like Chambers of Commerce and others who are doing a great job of promoting entrepreneurs, which are an important part of our downtowns and our communities. Then we have things like some of the efforts that we've been involved with, creating the Upstate Regional Planners Group that has met for now about 3 years of professional planners in the Upstate to talk about how they can work collaboratively along issues. And then they create a regional planners toolkit as one of their efforts. They've also done a review of all the comprehensive plans, the county comprehensive plans here in the Upstate. So there's other things happening. And then I mentioned the Hughes Investment Elevate Upstate grants that are now in the 3rd year, and that's another opportunity for growing vibrancy in our communities. So there are a lot of things happening, and certainly beyond the ones I mentioned, to try to ensure that our communities are vital and growing vibrancy, because it's important both from a sense of place, but it's also important from an economic standpoint. I think you all know that, and that's part of the message that you will hear today. So at this point, we wanted to start with one of the communities in the Upstate that is doing a good job of growing their vibrancy and has recognized that you have to prepare and you have to plan. And we thought it would be apropos because this community is celebrating its 225th anniversary, and that is the town of Pendleton over in Anderson County. And so I'm very pleased to have first Sherry Barrett to introduce them, and then we'll have the mayor and town administrator from the town of Pendleton.